This was bombed last night. They are bombing all infrastructure. It was never about the hostages. It was never that. Never. Like, this was a report that was recently released. The number, and literally, again, another confirmation. I told you guys I have this dream. We were talking about this in a video, the one with that I was showing you confirmation. And then I get another confirmation. 33% of the population is like, and this is what they've been hiding. They've been showing 64. Like they were out, like hiding the real numbers. This is it. Since October 7, do you think this is justified just to kill, wipe out? It was never about that. It was all fucking planned, just like 9/11. These people are fucking sick. And a lot of you, this fucking stupid ass two-state solution is disgusting. Do you want to know why they're saying the two-state solution? Because they don't know what to do with people who did this. 22 months of genocide. What the fuck are they going to do with all these people? Also, the society, they supported this, they wanted this. What are you going to do with those people? I know, well, Palestina will have to deal with it. Two-state solution. They're still going to deal with their abusers, their rapists, their killers, their genocidal maniac. They have to deal with it too. Ah, que lindo. You enable fucking crazy psychopaths. And now you're making the real victims, the people who are still surviving genocide from this, Israel and USA and Canada and UK, you motherfucking fucking betrayals, you sick fucks. This is what they funded. Our tax money funded this. This is what we tell you to boycott. This is fucked up. This is what causes silence as well. All of you inside, this is how long? 680,000 people massacre, kill in every possible way. We all saw that. We have evidence. I have 2 years of evidence in Telegram to prove this shit. It's true. And I don't give a shit what anybody has to say. Sanction fucking Israel. Sanction this fucking USA. Take them out of the fucking UN veto. Like, for real. This is for real. But even worse, 380,000 are infants. Children. That doesn't ignite you? That doesn't want to, like, revolt? No. 99,000 are children age 5 or older. 63,000 are women. And 138 are men. Why are they intimidated by men so much? Why? Right? This is racism. This is genocide. They're literally trying to ethnic cleansing. And there's still carpet bombing. There's still... I could not sleep last night. All I can think of is my people that I support in Palestine in the north and like lost their home, and I'm seeing them, their stories. Nadine, please. I have her on my link tree. I have other families in my link tree. Please support the families in Gaza to survive. Like, they're literally homeless. They literally bombed their fucking house last night. All I can think of how these people are sleeping. Where are they going? Where are they going to sleep? Where are they going to find shelter? They're bombing their houses. They're bombing their tent. Like, this is insane. This has to stop. This is on my Telegram as well. They have in the West Bank like a whole, like, innocent people were forced to march in humiliation towards torture dungeons and prison camps. Does that sound familiar? 1939, Nazi occupation forced drag Polish Jews from their homes in Poland. The same playbook. They're doing the exact same thing and like masquerading as they're Jewish. Shame. Disgrace. This is why the anti-Zionist Jews are really like, this is disgraceful. And all Holocaust survivors from that time, they're literally saying, this is genocide. This is insane. But this is what white supremacy is. This is what does. This is what this is. And a lot of you, this is the ego death. The ego death is the end of white supremacy, racism, patriarchy, misogyny, bigotry, colonialism. This is why we have to decolonize. This is why you can't skip step. This is why, because this cannot happen again, not just for white people, everyone, ever. I hope you're learning your lessons, right? But this has to stop now. Enabling these fucking sick motherfuckers, it's not okay. Israel occupation forces drag Palestinians from their home in Tulkarm. Hope I'm saying it right, but it's in the West Bank. But it also happened in the north, in the south. This already happened. We have footage also in my Telegram as well. If you go from like a year ago, yeah, that happened a year ago. This, I want to post it here, and it is the truth. The genocide, and like it's clear as day, the genocide in Gaza has posed the weaponization of the Holocaust as a vehicle not to prevent genocide, but to perpetrate it. Not to examine the past, but to manipulate the present. This is narcissism. They have used narcissist, white supremacy, the darkest of the fucking low, and have used another Holocaust and genocide to justify this one. Why? That's how they've done it. That's how they've taken the white supremacy energy and say, well, you cannot, it's anti-Semitism, it's comparing this, and blah, blah, blah. It's just to manipulate, to continue what they always wanted to do. Take the fucking land, right? Stealing. That's what colonization is. It's stealing. And they're very vocal about it too. This chart, also, a lot of you need to look it through. This is what the colonization is. You assess yourself, you decolonizing, right? You need to know this scale because it is this, okay? Like, we are here, right? And a lot of you are here. Okay, and we're trying to tell you that you need to make awareness of this so that we can crumble all of this. Okay, that's ego death, spiritual ego death for a lot of you. And yeah, this is, now I understand why a lot of white people don't want to decolonize. It's because you don't want to be held accountable. You don't want people to look at you, it's, right? But we live in a system like this. It's built to, and not being aware of it and not recognizing it, it's harmful. It's violence. Yeah, I said it. Also, in Yemen, 25 journalists, capital city Yemen, after targeting 2 newspaper offices on Wednesday. Yemen too. At the same time, this is psychotic. Oh, we should have used political violence. There's political violence in Palestine right now. What are you saying about that? Right? Right. Right. They don't hide their intentions anymore. It's clear as day. There will be no Palestinian state, sign agreement, punishment. This is their own newspaper. They publish this. You see them celebrating death. You see them celebrating taking what's not there, stealing, appropriating culture. Yeah, that's it. European colonialism, fucking rotten energy that is, we all seeing it because it's dying. It's dying. It's crumbling, right? And they're trying to search for scrap. They don't know what to do. Yeah. They will fucking rot in hellfire. I'm telling you. There's fucking heavy karma coming to these motherfuckers. I am telling you. And that's my confirmation, and that's above confirmation. And a lot of you know it. That's why I'm a divine messenger. I'm just a messenger here. And I'm only reiterating and telling you what your intuition is trying to tell you already that you're trying to ignore. And I'm going to leave it like that because this is facts. Terrorism is one of the only areas where white people do most of the work and get none of the credit. Well, we're giving you plenty of credit now. Take accountability now, decolonize, and do the fucking work and help people who are oppressed right now. Thank you. Right? Free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, and free all the oppressed. That's it.
You're always going to see an asynchronous reaction from when a white person dies versus a black person dies in America, or an Israeli dies versus a Palestinian dies in world politics, because every Israeli, every white person represents the state. The entire apparatus of power, the police, the military, are all set up to protect people who look like me, right? So when I die, you're killing the state. You're not killing me. When a black person dies, you're killing an individual. And under white supremacy, under the guidance of men like Netanyahu and Trump, I could grow up to be a lawyer or a doctor. But a black person, a Palestinian, is, just going to grow up to be like a terrorist or a thug or something like that. And that is why there is no mourning. And that is why you are seeing the reaction happen to Charlie Kirk. Now, because Trump is such a self-absorbed narcissist, he is going to move on from this very quickly. But, that's why you see his face splashed on billboards in Yankee Stadium and in NFL games. Because it's like, isn't this so sad? We've killed the government. We've killed the state. But when you see, the countless people that are dying in Gaza right now, or the all the people that die every day in America from gun violence that are not remembered, it is because that is not what the system was set up to protect. The system was set up to protect Charlie Kirk, and the system failed, so the system mourns. It's white supremacy.
Just take a second to contrast the humanizing, whitewashing that Charlie Kirk has gotten post-mortem versus the countless thousands of journalists, first aid workers, children, random women, random men who have been slaughtered in Palestine, who have been demonized and slandered after their killing by Israel. How many times have we heard the media blindly go along with the narrative that XYZ journalist was Hamas because Israel said so? How many times have we heard every word under the book except child used to discuss Palestinian children whom are killed by Israel? When Israel bombed Nasser Hospital, literally a couple days ago, they said, oh, it was because we thought there was a Hamas camera, whatever the fuck that means. That camera later was revealed to be a Reuters camera. Reuters posted what Israel claimed they saw without any sort of elaboration, no kind of critical analysis. They literally went along with Israel calling them Hamas. But let Charlie Kirk die and just watch the pearl clutching happen. All of a sudden, you can't even say on mainstream media this man was engaging in hate speech. When, there's just no, to not say that is to literally lie to the public. To not say that Charlie Kirk was engaged in hate speech is just a distortion of the truth. That was his job. Fuck out of here with this respectful renaming of Charlie Kirk's whole hateful career to be oh, he was just this free speech advocate and conservative activist. You guys have no kind of that same respect when it comes to Palestinians who have been fucking slaughtered. They are telling you directly, fascists deserve respect, but the victims of American and Israeli imperial violence don't. That's it.
Paul keeps leading by example on how to topple a corrupt government, because this is our corrupt government officials having to flee their homes via a small platform dangling from a helicopter, because 2 days after the police killed what is now being reported over 30 people during the largest protest in Nepal's recent history, where their Gen Z are protesting the corrupt government, a government where less than 20 years after they toppled the monarchy formed a two-party system, and recently those two parties merged into one large corrupt party with zero opposition, controlling everything from the government to the media. So the people of Nepal burned down all the government buildings, including the parliament building, their homes like the prime minister's house. They even chased their government officials like their finance minister down the river while throwing things at them, including members of the police that they chased into the river as well. I mean, they even burnt down the Hilton because allegedly it was built with dirty money, which made the politicians resign and literally flee. And they did all of this without even taking anyone else's life. And originally there were reports that the prime minister's wife was in the house when the house burnt down. however, and it was actually the protesters that found her inside, saved her life, took her to the hospital where she is currently recovering. Because in reality, these people were even helping the wives of other ministers who, this woman was actually abandoned by her husband, by the way, because he was too busy running away. They didn't harm her, they actually helped her get to a hospital. And because the toppling of the government was reactionary, as in that it wasn't planned ahead that they were going to, but it was in reaction to the fact that the police were taking their lives, rioters and looters saw an opportunity and joined in, and they were actually the ones that set a lot of the fires. And I did see a bunch of videos of people that were way older than Gen Z that were breaking into abandoned police stations, stealing guns and ammo, and the night that the parliament burned down, it did get a little dark in Nepal. But the next morning, the Nepali people, and I'm not talking about a couple, I'm talking about hordes of people, like the majority of people came out and they started to rebuild Nepal. No, I'm talking like people literally came out and started to rebuild Nepal. And that includes the Gen Z protesters tracking down and finding everyone who stole and looted stuff and publicly forcing them to go return it to the businesses that they stole it from. Like, the people of Nepal protested peacefully. They effectively created damage without doing harm. Then they're fixing and repairing everything that was broken and then holding their own people accountable for their crimes. Rest of the world, I need everyone to take note. Thank you and stay safe.
So now if I don't publicly grieve someone who used their platform to spread hate, I'm the monster. You're allowed to feel nothing for someone who felt nothing for you. But people are saying I lack empathy and compassion. Empathy means you can understand what someone may be feeling. Compassion is what you do with that understanding. But that doesn't mean you're required to care. It doesn't mean that you're required to grieve them. It doesn't mean that you have to make space for their pain. So why do people keep saying that I should feel guilty, like I'm supposed to at least say something? Because this is another kind of emotional labor people expect from historically excluded and marginalized individuals. Not just surviving injustice, but grieving the people who delivered it. Mourning those who never saw your full humanity. That's not empathy. It is exploitation dressed up as morality. It's wild. Like, if I say nothing, I'm a sociopath. If I say how I really feel, I'm the villain. Grieving takes time, energy, and presence. The expectation that you should pause your life, your healing, even your scrolling to mourn someone who actively harmed your community is an attempt to manipulate you. I get that, but people are acting like not mourning is the same as wishing someone harm. Those are two very different things. Choosing not to use your emotional bandwidth to honor someone who consistently denied your worth isn't the same as celebrating their death. There's a difference between neutrality and cruelty, and no one gets to demand your tenderness. Now people are saying I'm heartless because he was a man of God with a family. Like, I'm supposed to grieve just because he had people who loved him. Being loved by your family doesn't erase the harm caused to others, and someone's religion is not a shield from accountability. You can be a father, a Christian, and a bigot who has committed heinous acts. Does not mourning him mean I'm supporting the violence? No, that's a false equivalency and a manipulator's favorite tool. Choosing silence or honesty is not the same as celebrating harm. You're allowed to opt out of emotional labor, whether that's for a saint, someone who made a career out of causing pain, or anyone in between. So I don't owe anyone grief. No, you don't. And it's important to name what this is. It's not just grief guilt. It's emotional functioning, something that's been socialized into historically excluded and marginalized communities, especially Black people. This pressure to perform grace, to feel for those who never felt for us. It sounds like another way to attempt to control people. Grief is sacred. Compassion is a gift, not an obligation. And your energy is precious. You're allowed to keep it for people who never made you prove you deserve to exist.